Hi, everyone. It's Arthur from Arthur Ease Your Mind on YouTube. I'm an intuitive consultant and psychic advisor, and I tell everybody I just make it up and hope it happens. So, in fact, I was talking to somebody about something. They said, well, you're a psychic. Why didn't you know that? I'm like, we can't read for ourselves. This is why the cobbler's kids always need shoes. So, but it's the curse. But actually, Gene once told me, you can't read for yourself. But there are things that you'll know, like don't go down that street or don't do here. The guides will guide you, but for actually like sitting down and pulling cards on your own life and stuff like that, doesn't work, at least for me. And she said not to do that. So there you go. So anyway, here I am, and it's Sunday. It's the 31st, last day of August. I don't even remember 4th of July. I'm telling you, we're in some quickening. Everything's going by so fast. It's a wonderful Sunday here. It's about 84 degrees here in Los Angeles. Not a cloud in the sky. And I did see a clown, though. I thought it was Trump, but that's another story. And yeah, so we got lots of questions here, a lot of good ones. And first, a little bit of homework or as we say, housekeeping. First of all, it's political, world events. We're not doing personal stuff. Sorry. But as you know, I do other shows throughout the month with like Valerie and others that's all for your personal questions. And speaking of Valerie, we do have a monthly Zoom event. October sold out now. So the next one will be in November 15th. It's on Saturday with 10 people. So you can go to dragonflycrystals.store. Okay. And I did get a lot of notes from people, wonderful notes, saying that I think somebody stole your information and put it out there. And no, it was actually an interview with Life After Life that I did back in April. Evelyn has changed her channel from Life After Life NDE to Life After Life, and she's starting to rerun some of the things. So I was very pleased to see that. And she did a little bit of editing, so it wasn't the exact same interview. So she's a wonderful person. So check it out. It's like I said, Life After Life. And then there's another channel called, I have it written down, Beyond Life. Alex Scintilla from Romania. He has a really great channel, similar to Life After Life. And he's asked me to do an interview with him. So we'll be doing that later this month. I'll be posting all of my my calendar, hopefully by the end of the day, as to where I'm and what I'm doing for September. So you can mark your calendar and say, oh, good, Arthur's on. I'm going to watch somebody else. And so, yeah, that's that. And just a little bit of public service announcement. Rules. No comparison to other psychics. Please do not ask us to validate or refute what another psychic has to say. Of course, I've always said, but if I'm sitting here going, oh my God, did you see what Linda said? Oh my God, did you see what Mel said? Oh my God, did you see what Sherry said? That's a whole nother story. But if you want to ask a question, just ask, what do I see about something? Not, oh, somebody said this. What do you see? Okay. See, I can still answer it, but just don't do some comparative shopping. And as always, happy Labor Day. In fact, I was teasing a friend, I think I'd be arrested at Cedars-Sinai this morning. And I said, why? I said, I was running around the maternity department yelling, Happy Labor Day. Yeah, that would last about 5 seconds. So also with all the government stuff that's going down, as I always say, I'm just going to do it right now, right from the top, 5calls.org. You guys should know what it is. If not, it's a place, put in your zip code. They give you all your representatives, who they are, how to talk to them, how to get in contact with them, snail mail, email, phone numbers, their templates on what to say, etc., etc., etc. Also, there's the Congressional Switchboard at 202-224-3121. Yes, I call it like 3 times a month, 3 times a week, rather. And then, because I like the bitch. And then there's Goods Unite Us, a wonderful app that tells you where you shop, where they put their money. In other words, I've said this before, there's a couple stores I used to go to all the time. And then I found out that 100% of all their donations go to like the Republican Party. So I don't shop there anymore. Yes, this is a blue progressive channel. Did you notice? And also, just to keep up on things, electiontruthalliance.org keeps track of what we're doing with the election stuff. And let's see what else we have here. Look, I take the time to type this stuff out, so I'm going to make you watch it, read it. Okay, please stop by my YouTube playlist, Timeless Tools for Fast Results. So there I have little, I hate using the word hack, because when I was growing up, a hack was a has-been, but now hacks are like, little tips from Heloise or something. And so this is about how to sage, or as I say, modern sage sponge with spray, how to feng shui a car. I think that's hit 118,000 views so far. And then putting salt in your shoes, all that kind of good stuff. Manifestation. Yes, I am working on some other ones. The little thing called life gets in the way sometimes, but it's been good. So check that out. Also, you do know I do guided meditations. They are up on my YouTube channel. However, they're also up on iTunes and Amazon. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, bye. Just go into iTunes and put in Arthur, Ease Your Mind. And like 16 of them come up. So, and there are 2 tracks for each one. The first track is the guided meditation with the music, and underneath the music is a frequency of 528, which is a really good frequency. And then the second track is just the music alone with the frequency. So what happens is people say, well, I never listened to it, I just drift out. Actually, your subconscious is listening to it. So that's a good thing, okay? So you're not sleeping, you're listening. It's like, remember the movie theaters? The walls have ears, so shut up. And if anybody's looking for personal readings, I do those. People say, do you read for people? I'm like, yeah. I sit at the mall and go, oh my God, don't you have a mirror at home? She actually wore that outside? I guess that's shade, not really reading. But anyway. ArthurEaseYourMind.com. Okay. So by now you guys should know what I'm doing here today. I don't, but hopefully you do. Okay. And in the back, we have Sherry from from the Swamp helping with questions, and also my dear friend Walters in the back helping with questions, because I cannot walk, talk, chew gum, and read and whatever at the same time, let alone breathe. So let's get to, I have some questions that were from the post, so I'll go hit them right now, because a lot of the questions that's been around, so I think it's good. Mary Belastak asks, hi, Arthur, do you think Trump will be able to send and keep the National Guard in blue states? Governor Pritzker, Illinois, said that Trump will use National Guard to interfere with the midterms. I don't think it will work, but wondering what you pick up. Thanks. Well, the interesting thing is, he's deploying them for 29 days. By law, it's like 30, up to 30. But he's putting it out for 29 days. Why? Because if it was 30 days, he would have to pay their benefits, and he would have to pay their insurance and other things. This way, he doesn't have to pay it. Yes, our fearful leader at work. The other question, he can try. I don't feel it's gonna help. It's gonna work. People are gonna roll. So I would just say, you know what? Line up at Subway, get your sandwiches ready now. And Rhonda, happy Sunday, Arthur. Thank you. Where has the felon been lately? Is he in bed? Is he bedridden? Well, he came out. People gave him the finger this morning. So we got a nice, welcome. But also, there was that whole thing. Where is he? Where's Waldo? He was gone. Hadn't been seen since like Tuesday, I think it was. And especially when we all saw his handwriting or the bruise, which happens when you get, lots of IVs, not from what they're saying. Oh, he's shaking everybody's hand, really. And it was because of aspirin. That's what his doctor says. Yeah, like he really trusts his doctors. I mean, this is the first time in the history of the world, I think we've never gotten the medical records of a sitting president. So I wonder what they're hiding. But then again, I always say they marvel every time he gets an exam because it's like he walks, he talks, he doesn't have a brain and has no heart. This is really interesting. Just kidding. Entertainment purposes only. So those are the questions from the posts. So we've got lots of good questions here, so we might as well go to them. So let's go. Locus. Hello, awesome. I swear I am Elmer Fudd sometimes. Hello, awesome Arthur. Will the felon in hiding or pre-grave prepping, how do you see the transition from his cabinet disgusting reign of power into what comes next? Viens sure looks happy. I know he's learned how to they've sent him all this new stuff on how to use the new line of Maybelline now. It's really cool. I would always love to use the word Trump. Are you transitioning? Is your name going to be misinformation? Just kidding. What I've always seen, and don't hit me because I'm just telling you what I get and it's all fluid, but I always felt, even though he may step down, I never saw Vance as a president. Never saw it. I always get co-conspirator. But it's when we get a new president or new administration that the cabinet changes. I love that line of, I've seen better cabinets at IKEA. So, this is a pretty horrible cabinet. But, or someone called it a junk drawer. But how do I see it? I just see there will be people leaving. There will be people indicted. There will be people running like I always use the example when I lived in New York City, turn on the light in the kitchen, everything, scrumbles under the sink, stove, refrigerator. Yeah. So yeah. Are the photos of Trump old footage? Is he bedridden? Actually, I think it's funny. He's been putting out all that, I want to get to heaven. Give me a donation. Those are called indulgences. I think the Catholic Church stopped that many, many years ago. And if he is already the president for a second term, why would we be running ads for donations? Well, as Gavin Newsom said, in the White House, in the gift shop, it says the hats are Trump 2025. No, 2028. Sorry. So we'll see. But again, I've always said you have to be alive to be a president. Rhonda, Arthur, where is the felon? Hasn't seen him lately. Nothing in person about the Minneapolis school shootings or anything. Thank you. Like I said, you have to have a heart. I just feel he's been laying low because everything was coming to a head with him about the tariffs, the lawsuits, everything. But I mean, he's been, writing his little screeds, on Truth Social. Like the one, what was yesterday? He was like writing all about the limestone and going after some contractor instead of worrying about children that were being shot and murdered in schools. Yeah, it's the limestone is more important than that. And he was talking how I use the limestone. I use the best, but I paid the most money for the best limestone for the, for the rose garden. Well, there's no roses in the garden anymore, just limestone. I mean, a friend sent me a meme. It was hysterical. It was Liberace. And he was standing in the middle of the Oval Office going, this is even too gaudy for me. So, there you go. But no, I feel he's just been getting some IVs. I feel he's been laying low. I feel he's been like watching television, people probably slapping the burgers out of his hands because he can't eat them or shouldn't be eating them. And but he's slipping people. I mean, I was going, I have a fruit basket, and I was going through it. I had an orange. It was like getting kind of moldy. I'm like, ooh, Trump. So same thing. Do you see Vance pulling a 25th Amendment on Trump with the help of some in Congress? Well, actually, it's the cabinet that has to vote along with him. The vice president. I don't see it. I mean, let's face it. The guy who went on all the TV shows years ago saying how much he was an anti-Trumper, hated Trump, thought he was just the worst thing, called him America's Hitler, and now, oh, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, right. It's like that joke. What do you call the ends of bread? We usually call it a heel, but know what they're calling it now? The whore, because nobody touches it, but nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. And that's what this cabinet is like. They just want what they want, but they're going to go away. Okay? Let's see here. So, no, I don't see the 25th Amendment being used. Why does Donald want to buy 10% of Intel? Love show. Thanks for taking this question. I have no choice. Just kidding. Isn't this how socialism works? He wants to make money. What? That 10% is going to go back to the American people? That 10% is going to go into the coffers of the United States? Really? You really think so? Do you really think so? Yeah, right. I've got a bridge in Brooklyn. So, yeah. Will JD remove members of the 45th cabinet when he is president? Well, if he's president, I don't see it happening. Yeah, he'd probably make Peter Thiel head of something. Scary. Since JD is not well liked, I understand by those in Congress, will there be a successful impeachment of JD? I get a yes on that. Yes. Just like there will be of Orange Crush. Will the American people know right away when 45 is no longer breathing? He's breathing now? That's something they could. It's not like the movie Dave. I mean, yeah, I think we will know. Steve Mill will be running around the White House screaming probably. Will MAGA pull a Jan 6 against JD since they don't care for him? No. I don't see it. Because their leader, or their fearful leader, will not be around telling him what to do. So they'll sit home. Let's hope they drink a V8 instead of the Kool-Aid. But thanks, that's a good question. But thank you, Jennifer. Don, what do you feel is going to become of the meeting between Putin and Xi? Can we get the laugh track ready now? I'm waiting for the memes of the two of them laughing and then pointing at Trump or something. I actually feel Putin is a little scared of Xi. A little, not a lot. People are going to say, "Oh, you're wrong, aren't they? You're wrong." I'm just telling you what I'm picking up. But you know what? I feel all these men are not in good health. Putin, Trump, Xi. But the meeting will be interesting because, I mean, it's going to bypass the United States on some stuff. So, and it'll come out. And I feel that Putin has already warned Trump, do what I say or I'll be doing this. Hi, Arthur. Will the Mycelis brothers be safe during this regime? Thank you. You're referring to Ben Mycelis and his brothers from Midas Touch? I feel they're fine. They're safe. As well as Ryan Taylor Cohen and many, many others. Alan Moxler. I feel Jack Coccinella, I think his name is. I feel they're going to be safe. Jack just got in a little Twitter war with Laura Luma of all people. So, because he's just, I think he put out as a joke, is he dead? With prayer, and he said, "This is horrible." Laura Luma, yeah. Does Jasmine Crockett have a chance in ousting Cronin? Thanks for your insight. I get a yes on that. I'm not sure if it's going to be. I just hear within 2 years. Okay? Within 2 years is what I just got on that one. Thanks, Sandy. But she's a powerhouse. And the other one from Texas, James Tallarico, he's another one that's going to be rising up the ranks. Okay. But thanks, Sandy. Firefly. Has the orange have been squeezed? The administration don't want anyone to party. I mean, panic. Many people have left cookies from the Grim Reaper. We are doing this wrong. No, we're not doing anything wrong. What I tell people is not to see him departed. I don't want to see him die. I don't. I want to see him hit justice. And then in a room with a white jacket where he gets to scratch his back all day long. Look at the pleated walls, sir. It's really pretty. I've said this before, when it comes to manifestation, we all create the environment that we live in when we manifest. It's all a reflection of who we are. So manifest that we are living in democracy again, and he's gone. Okay? Don't put in there how he has to go, why he has to, just he's not there. Try it. It's your homework assignment. Hi, Sally. Can you see if NATO or a particular group is going to bring this corrupt administration down all at once? Who will be the source? Not to worry about it. It's going to happen. It's not just NATO. I've always felt when people ask me, well, what's going to happen? He's going to go down. But why and how, when? It's like, when's the cake done? When it's done. When does the weeble wobble and fall down? When he falls down. But in the meantime, I feel it's NATO. It's just like all this stuff piling up. It's not just one source. It's from many sources. And it comes out. I really feel September 3rd, this week, the Epstein victims talking with Congress is going to be very, very powerful. And he's going to run and hide on that one and say, oh, fake news. That's not true. Yeah, right. So there you go. Thank you, Teresa Spriggs. Will the government of Serbia fall? There's been lots of protests. And I don't see the government falling and folding just yet. But I do feel something's coming down end of February into March of 2026. And the corruption there is really bad. And then people are fed up with it. And this is where people have more power than they're given credit for. Like here in the United States, we have a lot of power, people. Use it. Use your voice. Okay. Hi, Arthur, Sherry, and Walter. Is the federal government going to shut down at the end of September? If so, how long will the shutdown last? Thank you. It depends, I guess, if they have to vote on Epstein files or not. I don't see the government being shut down. I'm not feeling it. I think that right now, that would be the kiss of death for them because prices, everything they promised, they've gone back on. And so to shut the government down would even just be another nail in their coffin. I don't see it happen. Okay. Hi, Suzette. I don't use 5 calls much because all my reps are Dems already agree. Still, let them know that you agree with them and they still have to fight. Okay. Sometimes I type in a Republican zip code and call the reps. What do you think is the best use of 5 calls? Thanks, Arthur. If you have Democratic representatives, please call them saying that you support them. Ask them to be more progressive. Ask them to be more assertive and get out there more. Because right now, a lot of them are trying to get the word out there, but the legacy news, whatever you want to call it, they're not covering it. It's progressive YouTubers and people on Substack and Patreon that are covering it. Okay? So, yeah, you can call Republicans, tell them how disappointed you are. But that's why I call the switchboard all the time, just to let them know, thank you for fighting, but don't give up. Okay? So I hope that helps answer that for you. Dream Dragons. Hi, Arthur. Do you see any problems from the Trump regime towards the protests on Labor Day? Like I said, go to Subway, get your sandwiches ready. You know what I'm talking about, with the guy threw a Subway sandwich in D.C. and they ran after him, and then Pierre was saying, "Oh, we're going to punish him." Yeah, and the grand jury said, "This is much ado about nothing." So I feel there'll be protests. I'm not seeing them really shutting protests down. I'm not seeing it because they know that if they do, it's just gonna backfire on them. But I thought that the most insane story I heard was about ICE when they had the fires up in Northern California. And you have these guys putting out these fires in the garb, everything, and ICE people showing up and just taking them off the lines. The guys holding the water cannons and everything, they're just taking them off the line. You're illegal. We're taking you. I mean, how insane is that? Instead of, hey, you know what? You're with the government. Here, hold this for a minute. You hold this. Help us. Numbnuts. I want to ask about the protest schedule for Labor Day. Do you see Trump sending in the military to go against the protesters? He is pretty desperate to divert attention. Like I just said, I'm not feeling... It's more like, what's his name, Tom, the border czar. He'll be doing stuff. But I'm telling you, I'm not really feeling it. It's the Taco administration. You stand up to them, they fall down. That's what I'm seeing. They're all talk. Are we headed to a civil war? No. I mean, you ever go shopping on Black Friday? That's civil war. But anyway. And people say, oh my God, God is gone from Christmas. Are you kidding? When I go shopping at Christmas, all I hear is, Jesus Christ, that's so expensive. Everybody brings up the Lord's name. What are you talking about? Let's see here. Are we going to war with Venezuela? No. Again, I feel that's all saber rattling. That weapons of mass distraction that Trump is so good at. Get everybody scared. I don't see it happening. And did you hear about the one about in Greenland where people from the Trump administration were trying to cause problems in Greenland, talking bad about Denmark, and people in Denmark talking about Greenland, trying to cause problems so they can go in there and, take Greenland? I did like the report that said Greenland will succeed to the United States if they released it. Epstein files. Hi, Arthur. Looking forward to your show. And so am I. Is it me, or has there been an increase in shootings in U.S.? Why? I feel things are being covered differently nowadays, but it's still there, unfortunately. And another reason why is because this Congress has made it very easy for people. They're doing everything that they're putting through is stamped by the NRA. The NRA are writing the rules, and they're just getting Congress to sign it. So instead of helping students in schools, they're doing everything they can to make students sitting ducks. It's sick. But that's all going to change. Okay? But that's, you ask why, that's what I'm feeling. Okay? And when I say I feel, I mean from my guides. However, did you see less Republicans voting in the midterms? I want to actually say yes to that out of protest. They won't vote. They don't want to vote for Democrats, but they won't vote. So I'm going to say yes to that. But then again, I've always felt midterms are blue, and we might even go blue before the midterms with the things that I keep on seeing. Again, I also believe in Christmas miracles. So we'll see. Just call me Pollyanna. Do you see Iran establishing a democratic government and removing religious rule? If yes, will it last? In what the guy just said is in time. In time. But then again, they've been ruled by religion for eons. So it's just not going to stop at the drop of a hat. But I do feel there's some progressives coming in. There's some changes coming in. I feel women will have more rights. And, but again, in time, not right now. Okay? Hello, Amazing Arthur. Do you see happening the week of the 21st of September? There's an eclipse on the 21st. Can we get Trump to stare at it again? Different kind of eclipse. To me, eclipses are like wild cards. Like a Joker. And the thing is, the energy shifts in the way I look at it. The energy shifts in an eclipse. It's just not that one day. Energy shifts in the eclipse can last up to 3 or 4 months, or almost a year. So I do feel, I've always felt the end of September, there's a lot of shifts coming up, and not to benefit the Fourth Reich now. It benefits us, not them. Okay? So we'll see what happens. But I do see this shift coming up. I said that months ago. I didn't even realize the eclipse was coming up, to be honest with you, but I've always read that. So we'll see what happens. Hello to all. Have heard Medicare cuts are increasing in 2026, as well as prescription drugs and minimum cost of living increase. What do you see about this? Thank you so much. Well, basically what's going to happen is there's a cost of living increase through Social Security every year. For 2026, I believe it's going to be around 2.6 to 2.7% increase. However, the cost of Medicare is going to be going up 11.6%, which is basically $208. $206.50 a month. So whatever it offsets. It's a wash. Okay. It's the 206 is for Plan B. That comes out of your Social Security. So it's a wash. What percentage of MAGA do you feel have turned their backs on Trump and the Republican Party and will vote Dem? Also, do you see any of the Trump children reigniting MAGA in the future to make a run for office? No, I see them make a run for the border. Maybe Elon will get them on that ship to Mars or something. That would be nice. How much percentage? Like I said, I said I felt what I was getting from the guides is that there may be a percentage of people sitting out the election. They're not going to vote. I do feel, again, don't ask me percent. I'm not getting percentage wise, but there are going to be people that have always voted Republican, and now they've seen what is really happening, and they'll go, "I'm going Democrat." They'll hold their nose, but they'll do it. Okay. For the 2026 midterm elections, will there be more of the younger generation of Democrats winning congressional seats? Both. Yes. Yes. I see that. Yes, I do. Aquarian moon chaser. That is what I see. And that's what we need. Hi, Arthur. Will there ever be a time when the U.S. will elect a woman or LGBT president? At the Rotary Club. I get a yes, but in time. They're not giving me an exact time frame on it. They say yes, but believe it or not, I believe there have been some presidents that actually were more LGBT than Q than anyone realized. So, read Larry Kramer's book about Lincoln. It's very enlightening. Hello, Arthur. I hope you are enjoying your Labor Day weekend. Well, they kicked me out of the hospital because I was yelling Happy Labor Day to all the women in the maternity ward. Well, RFK Jr.'s orders concerning COVID and vaccine being gone and needing a doctor to order them be challenged in court and overturned. Yes, I do. Then again, I don't see him being around in that position in 4 months. By the end of the year, I feel he is replaced. Yeah. I just saw a picture of a glowworm, so who knows? But I feel he's replaced. Well, can he leave his office or be forced out? I get forced out. Or he's going to be forced out, so he leaves. Yeah. Here's a whale. Go put it in your car. Go travel with it. Yeah. That's what I see. Will fake be held accountable after the orange has, I guess, is that media? Will the Jan Sixers be sent back to prison after the orange is gone? Thank you, Arthur. I feel there's going to be a lot of changes. And the thing is, the media is going to go where the money is. And so if the money means to go talk about Trump and the fact that he's rotting on the inside and lost his brain, then they'll cover it. Right now they can't because they're not going to make money out of it. Or they're not being told to cover it, is the other thing. There's like a news blackout. January Sixers go back. The funny thing is, many of them are going back to prison because they keep on doing what they do. So, but many of them will go back to prison after he's gone. I feel some of the, like I always say, Jimmy Carter said Trump was an illegitimate president. So if an illegitimate president, I guess any of his pardons would be illegitimate too. Can we get an update on the current state of affairs with the election cheating? No. Next, just kidding. They're still working on it. Look, they're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. I have a feeling when Kamala Harris starts doing her book tour, there's going to be little hints and little things that she says, little off-cuff record comments that people are going to start like, ooh, she's dropping breadcrumbs. Okay? It's still going to come out. That's what my guides say. Hi, Arthur. Do you see any reaction from 45 and his accomplices over the Rockland voting interference case? Any insights why this isn't getting more attention from the press? Well, as I just said, I feel they're being told not to cover certain things. Like it's almost a news blackout. But the word comes out. It'll happen. And don't forget, I mean, he wants to put in the executive order that get rid of mail-in voting. That all you have to be like maybe on your deathbed that you can order, or be in the military. But and you have to show ID and everything in order to vote. That's not going to happen. He can say what he wants, but again, distraction, because that is a state thing, you know. So he doesn't have the power to do that. He can say what he wants because some of his people are really like he said, he liked a low-educated voter, and so they follow whatever he says. You know, it's like, well, Trump said this. It's like, yeah, okay, doesn't mean it's true. Will Kamala Harris be safe on her book tour? Yes. I mean, the guy is a petty little petulant child who took away her Secret Service, but she will have her own security. It wouldn't be nice when he's in the hospital. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't have security guards outside your door. At what point will Project 25 be neutralized after the current regime is removed? It's going to, I mean, a lot of it's not going to happen overnight because they've been dismantling this for a while. But they will dismantle 2025 in a way that it's not going to happen all at one time, but it'll be in steps. And I want to say by the end of, as we get into 2027, I feel most of it has been dismantled. Okay. Will Elon go to prison after 45 is no longer in office? I feel he's going to be doing lots of deals and squeals and getting his queen or king for a day, and say a lot of things so that he gets a lighter sentence. He may leave the country. Unfortunately, that's what I was get. I never see him. Unfortunately, I never see him behind bars. Besides that, orange is not his color. Will Scott, pardon me, Perry, ever be brought to justice for his many crimes like treason, conspiracy against the U.S., conspiracy against rights, sedition conspiracies, and more? Yes. Yeah. Look, this is all. It may look like they're getting away with stuff now, but it's kind of like the movie Goodfellas. They think they're getting away with everything, they're riding high, then one day, when you're least expected, crash. Okay? So that's what I see is happening. Thank you, Artist Liz. You are so sweet. So are you. Thank you. We have 1619 in the room. Thank you for being here on this wonderful Sunday. Will the next president be someone we are not familiar with now? I think the next president is already rising to the ranks, so we'll know who he is. I think I said he. Sorry, we'll know who they are. They will be of known. It's not going to be like somebody out of left field, like nobody ever heard of. I don't get that. Who will decide the fate of Trump illegal tariffs? The Supreme Court or Congress? Congress, because Congress is in charge of it, not the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court may turn around and say, yeah, the Congress has to do this. It's in the Constitution. But the way the Supreme Court is, like I said, I believe in Christmas miracles. Okay. How is it? Will the Epstein victims who testify be given protection? Yes, they will be. Yes. And that's on September 3rd. So I believe, I don't know if all the news outlets are going to cover it, but I do know that the Midas Touch is covering it. I think Brian Tyler Cohen's covering it and others. So, a lot of stuff's going to come out. And they're going to say, it's fake news. So there you go. Will the National Guard go to Boston? Thank you. No. I just got to know on it. I could be wrong, but it's the moment. And, predictions are fluid. I just got to know on it. Will National Guard go to Maine since Trump doesn't like Governor Janet Mills? Possibly. I had a possible on that. But there's Subway up there too, Is Ohio Brown is running for Senate against... Wait. In Ohio, Brown is running for Senate against Husted. Will Brown win? I get Brown winning. So, at least at this moment, that's what I got. What do you see for Chicago? It was a great show. It really was. I love Candor. Wrong Chicago. Well, there's a lot of craziness there. I mean, I hate to say this, but racism shows its ugly head many times. I do feel if Trump tries to bully and put the National Guard in, it's not going to work. They're not going to be there for 29 days. But what he's talking about is then putting over to the Army base, or the Navy base. So federally, he can do that. But I still feel that people are going to be very much against it. But Chicago wins in the long run. Was Rudy drunk driving when the car accident happened? You're talking about Rudy Giuliani? You really have to ask that question? He wasn't dyeing his hair, I can tell you that. So, he reminded me of the very last scene from Death in Venice, when Dick Bogart is like this dying and his hair is dripping from the dye in his hair. That's what Rudy Giuliani reminds me of. With that bad hair dye day. Yeah, I feel he was drunk driving. So yeah. Entertainment purposes only. Desert Flower. Hi, Arthur. Will the 600 unaccompanied Guatemalan children be safe since their deportation was stopped last night? Yeah, it was stopped at midnight. And the court order went in, the lawsuit went in this morning, today. They'll be safe. They're going to try and do what they did. They range from 12 to 17. And they're saying they're here illegally. They crossed the border without their parents, blah, blah, blah. Even though some were living with families. So, again, This just shows you this administration, what scaredy cats they are. They have to go after children and women. Yep. So macho. Arthur Booby, I love that. Since Trump is asking for donations to get into heaven, does he now believe in the afterlife, or is it just him doing what he does best? Grift, 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 and Grifty was his name. Oh, it's a grift. It's a grift. I don't think how does he even believe in the afterlife? He's not going to die, But I always say that, the golden calf has been melted down. It's now a golden toilet in this place in New York. Do you see Taylor Swift and marriage bring MAGA and liberals together? Well, there are a lot of MAGAs that are Swifties, so for a short time. But then again, MAGA was putting out there that even though Taylor Swift and Travis are getting married, she has to succumb to everything that Travis tells her to do because he's the man. Okay, next question. How will Netanyahu go out? Like a light bulb. No, again, the how, what, when, what, and why. It's just going to happen. You can go to sleep knowing it's going to happen. You don't have to know why or how. It's going to happen. When it does. I don't feel it's that far off. Do you see Alexei Navalny's widow, Yulia, assume a role in Russia's government after Putin's exit? Yes, I've always said that. I've always felt a woman comes into play. And I've always felt a woman rises also in, like a gold in my ear type in Israel. So, yes, I do feel she's going to be there. I do. Great question. Thanks, Elizabeth. The Russian economy is being so drained and wrecked that Putin's Ukraine war, and Ukrainians are so decimating Russia energy infrastructure. What will Russia be like 5 years from now? On the path to recovery. On the path to recovery and a renewal commitment to being human. It's the government. It's not the people. There's a composer I know here that for years he would use, I think it was called Bowtie Orchestra, which is out of Moscow. And they would perform all his stuff for like movies and stuff. And it was very inexpensive. And it's all online. And they're the musicians, they're scrambling. The rates are like pennies on the dollar now. And nobody's using them. It's not that they're against the people. It's just that they don't want to give any money to Russia at this point. Anything. So it's sad because the people are suffering. Isabel, thank you for the super sticker. I like your black and white photo there. So, will the U.S. ever be able to get the friendship with other countries that 45 destroyed? Yeah. I don't know if he's ever going to lay in the rotunda, but after he lays in state or whatever word you're going to use, after that, I feel then things can start coming back together. I'm not hearing like a guitar playing Kumbaya, but I just feel that it's going to take a lot of goodwill on our part and change. And the world will be a better place. No lyric to a song. What will become of Stephen Miller after the regime implodes? Well, I don't see Dancing with the Stars or RuPaul's Drag Race. Stripes, perhaps. Orange, perhaps. Little Slippers, perhaps. Yeah. I can't wait to. I really feel down the line his wife may write a tell-all. So we'll see. Yeah, Stephen Miller. And SS Stephen Miller. That's exactly. I always saw him in that outfit. Always. The Putin in Alaska displayed out of norm traits. Was the real reason Trump was shook up because the real Putin sent his body double? There's a lot of. Everybody's asking about body doubles. I didn't feel it was a body double. I feel like just like pump them full of medication, just like they do all of them. And I still want to take that clip of Trump where he could not walk in a straight line that Mighty Such had, where he's like, zzz, zzz, zzz. I want to do that. And I wish somebody would get that and just do a loop of it with the Benny Hill song under it. Please. Somebody, please. Hi, Arthur. What will happen to the Trump children once Trump is no longer president? Will Don Jr. and Eric have any swaying power with MAGA? I'm going to go out on a limb on this, entertainment purposes only. But I've always seen, if anything goes down, they throw everything at Eric and use him as a scapegoat. I don't see them swaying any power. I mean, what? Well, Filene's basement is gone, so they can't be there. I don't know. I just don't really see it like a rallying call with we're MAGA again. I don't see it. Hi, James Clark. Thank you for the donation. When justice happens, will it also happen to the oligarchs who are actually pulling the strings above our government? Yes. I do see that. It's funny. The other day I got a glimpse of, there was Geppetto, played by Putin, and Pinocchio was played by Trump, and every time he lied, his nose grew. But I do feel that the oligarchs are going to get their due. They are. Acadian Pond. For those of us who remember laughing, I think Grumpy should be awarded the Fickle Finger of Fate Award. Nah, I like the Razzies a lot better for him. I mean, should we nominate him for makeup for Best Emmy? I don't think so. I mean, I always say the girls from RuPaul Drag Race could probably teach him how to blend his makeup better. Will the IRS tax code be changed not to favor the wealthy? Eventually, yes. Mm-hmm. And that's when citizens unite and go after them. And get rid of Citizens United, too. I would say in 5 years, Citizens United is gone. That's going to help a lot. I think we have time for one more question, or one or two. I don't have fish fins yet, so fish fins are when they sit there, no more questions. Ooh, I am getting no more questions. All right, well, we have 1775 in the room at the moment. Thank you so much for stopping by. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. I mean, I look every morning and, well, not every morning, but most mornings, and I just see that my channel is growing. And I couldn't have done any of this without you guys. And there are people I remember that when I had 3,000 subscribers, and you're writing me and congratulating me on growing, and you're still with me. So I haven't offended you yet. And so I appreciate that. And yeah, I just want to, do whatever I do and share it with others, but also to keep everyone not from going down the rabbit holes. Okay? Not, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, no, we don't need to do that. That's what they want. Again, we are in control. We have more power than you think. We have voices. So, fivecalls.org, call the switchboards, do all that kind of stuff. And if you can, volunteer, volunteer for your local representatives, or even on school boards, all that kind of stuff, the grassroots. And because unfortunately that's how the Republicans were able to get into some of the school boards and everything, because nobody's really paying attention or watching. But we have to start singing that song, anything you can do, we can do better. Okay? Yeah. Yes, support Election Truth Alliance and Smart Elections US. Thank you, Sherry. And the thing is, thank you. You're so much a blessing to all of us. Oh my God, my head's going to swell. I have to get some ice packs on it. Thank you so much. So I will be putting up my schedule for this month and some really fun shows. I think I'm doing, it was going to be Aloha Tuesday. It's going to be Aloha Wednesday this week. I still have to talk to Mel about that. There's little things for like doctor's appointments get in the way. But the rest of the month, I've got some really good shows planned. And every Sunday, here I be. So, yeah. And if you hear the National Guard are coming to your town, get the subway. Come on. Get your ammunition ready. And you know what? I love you all. And I mean that. I really do love you all. And again, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I've got a bet with Walter, 100,000 by the end of the month. I mean, the end of the year, end of the month. Oh my God, I would plot to get the defibrillator from Amazon. But anyway, there you go, guys. All right. So as always, take care of yourself, take care of others, have fun, and stay amazing. Okay. Love you all, and I'll see you soon.